How we doing, boys?
Did I ever show you guys my my Wolverine popcorn bucket?
Wolverine.
I'm never gonna put popcorn in this thing. It's so uncomfortable to like put your hand in here. Like there's like this little. Can you guys see it?
So
it's like this plastic part,
yeah.
and like your hand like goes in. And there's like a tongue over here, right? And it's like a grooved tongue. So as you're putting your hand in, you always have to feel Wolverine's tongue at the same time. Yeah, hand or other body parts. Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's disgusting.
I want to get a Wolverine and then outfit it like a pocket pussy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta get a fleshlight and put it in
exactly.
Cody, you need to make a TikTok about this and then showing everyone how you did it step by step.
Yeah, step by step. I was like, so I can get Comics and Chronic on Arts and Crafts Talk.
Oh yeah, like DIY.
Yeah.
That's actually been our end goal all these years.
This is how I made my DIY fleshlight. Oh, that's great.
Do you guys want to hear the Cody update?
Of course.
Is it also specifically about KO? Because I'm saying this because in our first part of Uncanny X-Force, we were talking about how you give us like updates every so often about him, and it's always like, holy shit, like he's getting older so much faster.
Yeah, this actually is about KO.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
So first off, dude's becoming a really talented wrestler. It's crazy.
Wrestler.
He's growing up before my very eyes. It's so wild. But what was I gonna say? There was something I wanted to tell you guys about.
Anthony, now would be the time. It's too late now.
I remember. I introduced him this weekend. I introduced him to the hip hop music of acts like Jay-Z and MF Doom and Big L.
Nice. Did he like it? What did he
think? He loved it.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, he loved Big Pimpin'. He loved Hard Knock Life. He loved One Beer by MF Doom. Yeah, the Big L's freestyles. He was just like, that's crazy.
Dude, maybe. Dude, do you think he'll become a wrestler? Like a WWE wrestler?
Oh, that would be sick. KO Canon.
Yeah. I can see it now.
It's actually a good name already.
Yeah. He doesn't even need a stage name.
Yeah.
The world is his stage.
You saw Wicked, didn't you?
Yeah, dude. It was awesome.
I've actually been hearing that from people. People are saying it's good. I heard also, not that I don't know, someone said like Ariana Grande kind of killed it too.
Oh my God, she was amazing. She crushed it. It was so funny. Very similar to, like, you could tell, because so I've never watched the stage musical, but you guys know that I do love musicals. You would know that if you've listened to my first Dark Secret.
Oh yeah, that was your first Dark Secret. It really was.
I do love musicals, but I looked up afterwards and they said like they expanded like a couple scenes, but other than that, it's pretty much the musical. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, the choreography was amazing. The comedy, it was very funny.
Really?
Yeah, very funny. Just like so, like little, like almost in like a Barbie-esque kind of humor. Like
I could see that.
Like Ariana Grande is playing Glinda the Witch, and I also didn't realize that Wicked actually didn't debut until 2003. I didn't know that until after I watched the movie.
You learned something new.
Yeah.
So Cody, is what you're saying we should turn the podcast world on its head and do a Wicked episode?
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. I'm saying absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll watch it. We'll find a way to watch it.
I don't know if I want to pay for it though.
Oh, I'm just saying it was worth even KO. KO was like, when I told him we were going to watch a musical, he was just like, and we got out of it. He was like, I'm not gonna lie, that movie was kind of awesome. I was like, I know.
You took him and his lady, right?
She had to. Her family made her bail because she ended up having a bunch of family coming in for Thanksgiving that were leaving the next morning. So
is that the real reason, or is the reason because it's called Wicked and it has to do with witches? And I know you guys live in the South where that's kind of like
witchcraft. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. They already think I'm satanic enough,
Nah.
No, I pulled up to get KO from hanging out with her for a couple hours, and like I turn around and the dad's just like right by my driver window. I was like, oh shit. And he was like, we just didn't recognize the vehicle, so I wanted to come out and make sure everything was okay. I was like, oh yeah, dude. I get it.
Do you think they knew she was gonna go see Wicked and they're like, not in this house?
Exactly.
No. They seem pretty chill, honestly. They seem pretty chill.
Nice.
For some country folk.
That's good for KO.
Chill ass country folk.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, I loved The Wizard of Oz. That was always a great movie.
Truly like a fantastic spectacle of. That's why I texted you guys. I said it was Oppenheimer for theater kids. And
did you say Dune for what?
Dune for the gays and theys.
Dude, I like the gays and theys.
No, for sure. I mean, it really was. Like, it's like
for sure.
Like a huge.
All I've been seeing on my timeline.
I totally misinterpreted when you said Oppenheimer for theater kids. I was thinking something else.
Yeah, what did you think?
Like,
what were you thinking?
Like, you know how in like the Wizard of Oz they like drop a house on the witch, so like something like
dropping a bomb on the theater kids.
One might argue the Wizard of Oz is an allegory for America's place in geopolitics.
I mean,
Oz being the United States, you know?
No, I mean,
powerful Oz.
They literally the 1940s screenplay was, the screenplay was based off of was a criticism of like capitalism and fascism and monopolies and stuff like that in the 40s.
Interesting.
Or late 30s rather, because I think it came out like 39.
I just know that there were a bunch of like fucked up accidents on the set of that movie.
Oh yeah, like a bunch. Like they basically tortured Judy Garland.
Tortured her. The actress that played the Wicked Witch was burned and maimed.
Yeah.
Like,
and she refused to do it again. But the stunt double was like, "I want that money. I'll do it." And she ended up in the hospital for 2 days.
Yep, I think for the skywriting scene.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Well, this isn't a Wicked or Wizard of Oz episode, although, like I said, I'd be down to do something like that.
But there is dimension jumping going on in this episode.
There is. There is. I was thinking more before. I was like, this might be a good segue. The way you were saying, you were talking about like raising KO and stuff like that. Like, you know, how like Fantomex. Yeah, you're making sure you're because you were saying you were making him listen to all like the great like old school rap, and like that's how you stop him from destroying humanity.
I like that. Dude, I love this run. I love this run in comics so much. It's like definitely, I'm going to just outright say maybe like top 5, definitely in my top 10 stories / comic runs of all time.
Absolutely. One of the best X-Men runs ever.
Facts.
Dude. Oh, from start to finish, it's awesome. I mean, like, it's not like there are lower points in the run.
Especially in this part. Well, what are we talking about? We didn't even say that first. And this is one you've been preaching about since day one, Cody.
Yeah, since day one, baby. We're talking about you see it behind Anthony. Well, you can't if you're listening, but we're talking about Rick Remender's Uncanny X-Force, the second half of his Omnibussy. The first time we didn't do it with the Omnibussy, we did it through the issues. This time, all three of us. We loved it so much, we all got that Omnibussy.
Oh, yeah.
We did.
So in the first episode, we talked about the first 19 issues. So this is the rest, like 20 to 35.
Yeah.
Except for, like Cody said, there's a low point. There's an arc within this that we were talking about it even before this. Like,
I hated it, man.
Yeah.
The
Otherworld arc.
It almost ruins it for me.
Whoa, Otherworld almost. See, I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy it as much. I do think it's a low point, For
it's a low point both in story and art, and I really don't care.
Especially the art.
Yeah, the art is just really shitty. I'm sorry, but whoever that artist is, not a fan.
They
of
get
what
back
they were
to
doing.
it for the rest of the
absolutely
storyline.
But it's never who did the first half.
Jerome Opeña did a lot of the first half.
Yeah,
and
like
he's
he
amazing.
kind of like killed it,
I
and
know.
then afterwards, like the art isn't like bad after, but it's not Jerome Opeña, and for me, it really made a difference, like story wise. I was just like,
That's totally fair. Although I do like Phil Noto. He does a lot of the art for the second half.
Yeah, he does the art for the Brotherhood arc, right?
Yeah, and
that was great. I liked that.
Yeah, and I like his X-Men period. Like he might be my favorite X-Men artist of the modern day. Just the way he always draws the X-Men. He's super consistent. He's only gotten even better since that, even though that's really good stuff. But yeah, like I'll buy like an X-Men cover as long as he's the artist. You get what I'm saying? Like his style, I just love.
And although I do think your criticisms of the Otherworld volume is valid, I don't think it's I do think it's like a good part to the story. I think it further develops Betsy's, Elizabeth Braddock's, Psylocke's story arc.
For sure.
Like adds a much like a really good layer of depth to her.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I agree with that, but I just don't care for her brother. I don't care.
Yeah, her
for
brother.
any of this stupid shit going on in Otherworld or Gayland, whatever it was. I forget. Is it called Otherworld? Outworld?
It's Otherworld.
Otherworld. Yeah.
Otherworld. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Captain Britain, Green Lantern Corps, like I hated all that. I just thought it was dumb.
No, that's fair. I mean, it's the kind of thing where you're reading comics sometimes and you're like, what is this lore? Not only do I not know it, but I don't like it.
And I don't care.
It's gonna,
exactly. I'm not going to lie, you guys. It's going to play a role in my Pesci school.
No,
that's
it's totally fair. And the first time I read Uncanny X-Force, this is exactly how I felt too. This time around, I've like, because I've read it before, and then because like, especially in the Krakoa era, they had an Excalibur series by Tini Howard, and that really is all about Otherworld. And it made me like understand it more and like it more and see why it could be cool. But this story didn't do that originally for me. Definitely not.
No. Yeah, it's definitely the lowest point in the series. I think
Yes.
the two lowest points were this one and when those like side quests in the first episode we talk about where they fight the Reavers. And
it's like a one shot. Yeah.
I liked that. I like that better than this.
Yeah, I would.
That at least was only one. That was like only one issue. This was like multiple issues, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It like honestly, like it became a chore to read through. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna finish this. And that for me is like a telling sign of when I have to force myself to read a comic book.
Yeah.
It does not do well for the Pesci scale.
Jake, I totally agree with you, man.
I do think though that it does pick up a lot.
It does. After that
of,
ends, it picks up.
Yeah, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is a rad, and it's dark. It's fucked up. I think my favorite part of the Otherworld saga wasn't even that. It was the introduction of the Skinless Man.
Oh, that guy's weird. Yeah,
that guy's fucking weird.
He's Weapon 3, so he's part of that whole system of like
the barrister.
Yeah, he was a weird dude.
Wait, when we first recorded the first episode, where does that leave off? Because
we left off at the end of the.
So where does issue 19 end?
It ends with the Dark Angel saga with Warren being Baby Warren and
Baby. What?
Baby Warren? What do you
know?
He's redeemed. He dies and is rebirthed. As,
they get the life seed and they put it inside of him, and he becomes like old school Angel, but now he doesn't remember anything, and so he's not on the team anymore. He's
not on the team anymore.
And Nightcrawler and Deathlok or Deathlock's still on it, but
Nightcrawler from another universe.
Yeah, from Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler.
I would call him Dark Nightcrawler, I guess.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little shit in my opinion.
Yeah, but I love him. I love this version of Nightcrawler. Not like my favorite version, but like I like because
he's a treasonous bastard in the end.
Yeah, that's what I hate about him in the end. Yeah. Before then, I'm like, okay, he's being a little shit.
He's cool. He kills a lot of motherfuckers.
Dude, the issue when he kills Bobby Drake.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
That's a great issue. And it fucking throws him in the furnace.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when he was like, I won't, I'm sorry. He's like, you're right, you won't. You'll melt.
Yeah.
That's such a badass line.
No, he says, I'll change. He's like, you're right,
I'll change.
you'll melt.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was so cool. And what a cool, way to kill off Omega Bobby Drake.
Yeah, because he was making giant, like frost giant versions of himself.
Omega Iceman's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast. I mean,
like
the
crazy
way
powerful.
when Wolverine was fighting him, we talk about all of this in the last episode, but when Wolverine's fighting him,
but he still fucks him up in this second half too.
Yeah. But like
he fucks Wolverine up.
Oh yeah, but like because he's just like able to like literally freeze the air in your lungs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's a beast. But then to counter that, Nightcrawler teleports him into a furnace that's like there's no moisture in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cray.
That was crazy. But before we completely skip over Otherworld, Cody, you made a good point that like it's a big moment for Betsy, for Psylocke, because not only does she become like Captain Britain for a little while, but she also, something happens where she now like no longer has any sorrow left inside of her.
Yeah, she does that to save Fantomex.
Right, because they're going to kill, they put Fantomex on trial, so this is what happens in that storyline. They put Fantomex on trial, and they're going to kill him.
For killing Kid Apocalypse in the first half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That haunts this entire comic, this entire story. No one ever, it's always a point that they killed Kid Apocalypse, and it affects everything they do.
Yeah.
Does Genesis become a big part of the X-Men after this? Because they kind of set up that he should.
He does, and then you never see him again. Like so there's Wolverine in the X-Men. And that's when they're talking about he's at this Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. So there's a series called Wolverine and the X-Men. And if you're reading this, it makes absolutely no sense that Wolverine in his spare time is running a school. And like if you were to read that comic, he's doing a lot of shit, and he's also not.
How does he even have spare time?
Exactly, it makes no sense. And like he's drinking 1 million beers in one of the issues. Like it just makes no sense what he's doing. So whenever they talk about that, Evan's going to that school, and there's storyline. I've never read that series. It's by Jason Aaron. Really good. It's always recommended by everybody as one of the like newer X-Men series to read. So it's happening around this time. But then later on, there's Jeff Lemire has a series called Extraordinary X-Men. And he's part of that team. And I think you even see him become Apocalypse at some point. But like it's a big part. Like his storyline comes back around. And then also he's always interacting with Deadpool, because as we see at the end of this, him and Deadpool become pals. Like one thing about Uncanny X-Force that it did from the very beginning was make me a Deadpool fan, and then by the end of it, I'm sold to completely solidified me as a Deadpool fan for life, because he just becomes even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the only good person on the squad at the end of the comic.
Yeah.
For sure. I
mean, Fantomex definitely changes too. Like, I like Fantomex. A lot of people don't like him, but I like him.
Kind of. I mean, he also, like, at the end of it, he splits into 3 different people, where one of them is, like, legit, like, bad and still Sentinel-like.
Yes.
And he just, like, dips, like, immediately.
And you could read more about that, too. There's the next Uncanny X-Force volume by a different writer, and they go into
liked that Fantomex's costume.
Is it good? Because I heard it wasn't very good.
This is great. So it's like nothing. It's the kind of thing where we talk about Immortal Hulk, where what comes after that, yikes. Like, you need to, it's going to be hard to live up to that for real. Like, and so that's the same thing. Even if, like, I wouldn't say it's bad. I haven't read it in a while, but it's nowhere near the same level as this.
Not as busted.
But like, if that's comics, right? Like, if you like the story, the writers are going to change. Everything is canon, so it's going to keep going and going. So if there's stuff that happens in this that does keep going. Angel comes back and in this same, like, there's an era of X-Men, I don't even know what to call it. It's like pre-Krakoa. Remember when the comics were trying to get rid of the mutants entirely because Fox owned the X-Men still? I don't know if you guys remember that. So they tried to make the Inhumans a big thing.
Yeah.
And they had Inhumans versus X-Men. And in this era, there was a series where there's an Uncanny X-Men series where Psylocke and Angel are on the team. And you get more of their story coming back and him dealing with Angel. Like, Archangel never really goes away.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a long tangent, but there's a lot of canon. Like, so I guess as this story goes on, like, like, you know, like the Otherworld stuff, like we don't know that canon and lore and stuff like that. So it is a harder read. Like I can't even, you know, like I'm sure there's some great Otherworld stuff but I'm just not, I don't know. I don't really like fantasy stuff too much either. You know what I'm saying? Just in general.
In comic books or
maybe in the X-Men. It's just not the kind of X-Men story I want.
I can kind of agree with that. I feel like I don't mind fantasy comic books, but I don't know if I like X-Men being in that world.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, because this essentially, I like X-Men when they're like evading persecution, or in the Krakoa era, they're kind of like, you see them really like just like their own, it's kind of sci-fi-ish, but it's more of like just them like rising above all of the things they've faced. And X-Force is like, what if the X-Men were like an espionage hit squad? You know what I mean?
Sci-fi espionage. That's what why I like it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I the same goes for, because I think I told you earlier, like months ago, that I read that Batman and Robin, remember? I said I hated it, Anthony.
Which Batman and Robin was that?
The one where like he's fighting that demon Zega or Nega, and it possesses Batman.
Oh yeah. I know. Yeah, exactly. It's a Mark Waid one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hated it, but then I also realized that I also hate like I don't like Batman being involved in fantasy shit either.
Yeah,
like, that whole magical world. Leave Batman out of the whole Zatanna. Like I don't like that.
No,
it's just not my thing. I like get the appeal, but it's not my thing.
Yeah, I just don't think the blending always works. You know?
No,
yeah,
it just and if it does, it like it's like the most mid part of the run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Facts. Well, does anyone want to give a synopsis? I feel like we've been jumping around, but
if I'm being honest, this comic is
kind of hard to give a synopsis.
It's such a deep lore comic. Like you would not give this to like I would never like if a girl I was seeing, or for instance, Kea was like, "What's this book you're reading?" And he was like, "Do you think I'd like it?" And
Put that down, son.
I was like, I think he would like it, but I think he should read and watch. Like, I don't. It's gonna be nobody's first comic.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's what I guess I agree with the most. Like, it's built on other X-Men stuff, but that doesn't make it. It's still it's one of the, like I said, one of the best X-Men runs ever, but it's not like a pick up and read one if you don't know other X-Men stuff. So like going off of that, like the Otherworld stuff, just so we could like stop talking about it and get to the stuff like we no, but seriously, because I think there is a moment at the end that's so important to the rest of it too. Like Cody is saying again, Psylocke is brothers with Captain Britain, and then there's Jamie, her other brother, who's like a good guy in this, but historically, he's kind of crazy and he's a villain. Yeah, he's a villain. He's like reality warper kind of thing. And they find out this goat dude that's fucking everything up in Otherworld is
Black Phillip.
Let's call him Black Phillip.
Do you want to live deliciously?
But basically, he's possessing Jamie, and he's going to take over. And so they have to kill Jamie, who is Psylocke's brother, but Captain Britain doesn't want to do it, so she takes over his body, so he kills him. It's a big moment, and that's literally Psylocke killing her own brother after just dealing with having to like get rid of Angel and almost kill him, and like all this other stuff that's happening. Like what I love about that, and then the run going forward is like there's always a situation brought up where they're like, we killed a kid, so where does the line end? You know, like, and are we good guys for that still? Like everyone's like talking shit about Wolverine, that's part of the Brotherhood, but they're not wrong. You know, like they're not wrong about Wolverine.
And it goes to show in the future, because if they continue to go down that path, it's going to lead to a fascist future with like some minority report.
Yeah.
Minority Report for sure.
Yeah, with fucking Frank Castle and Cable.
Yeah,
yeah, like that the Punisher survives.
Yeah.
That was a cool.
He's a survivor.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I like that. I like that part was cool when they go to the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was right after they kidnap Evan, kill Fantomex and bomb the cave or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in Otherworld, Fantomex gets his face peeled off by the skinless man.
Yeah.
That was fucked up.
That's fucked up. But he's also like, where he's part of the weapons program, he does have a healing factor.
Right.
It might not be like Wolverine level, but it's there.
Good point.
But he was also like kind of dead, wasn't he? Because the dude, the barrister, had him like flayed out House Bolton style.
That's after.
Yeah.
Dude, how about the part when they're trying to break the kid and the skinless man animates the body of Fantomex?
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Dude, the way they torture that Evan.
The Brotherhood was brutal when they go to that supermarket and they kill everyone, like Sabretooth and everyone.
Led by
kills
Dakin.
everyone in there.
Yeah.
I hate Dakin.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
But honestly, if we're being honest, truly led by Sabretooth and Mystique, not Dakin.
Right. And Mystique has
Mystique's a beast in this.
She's a beast, and she even has her own plans. Like, she wants to take out the Shadow King.
Yeah. Because he killed Destiny.
Yeah, I like the Shadow King was back too.
Yeah, Farouk.
The one thing I will say about this whole thing is like between the circling back to like, or just the fact that like issue 1 of this starts with killing Kid Apocalypse. It comes all the way back to even like the last issue. And then even like people like Shadow King, who you see in the first half of this omnibus, comes back. I do like a lot of the loose ends were fucking tied up.
Everything was like this is like one of the most consistently wrapped up runs I've ever seen.
And it even has a happy ending, which is weird.
Yeah. That's kind of debatable.
Technically. The way
I mean,
the way it purposely ends, I mean, I guess on a high note. Like literally it's not like it doesn't end and it doesn't end as depressing as you expected, I guess is what I mean to say.
True.
Yeah, because this is a depressing, really like goes to show like this is why superheroes need to keep their no killing code. Because it really takes every single person in this to their lows.
Right.
You know
Did you guys read the stories after the main story?
I did before, but I didn't this time around just because I wanted to spend some more time with the kid and just couldn't get around to it.
I like the Wolverine one a lot.
Oh yeah,
is that the one where he's like I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I've read it before. Cool. Yeah. The Deadpool one's okay.
Yeah.
It was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it was really ridiculous.
It's way
it gets
more
overfed.
It gets overfed by these like this obese vampire woman.
That was
kind of
weird.
crazy.
But the Wolverine one was a good Wolverine story.
Yeah, the Wolverine one was good and it was dark and I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
The no kill rule applies to most heroes, but definitely not Wolverine. Like he is a killer.
Yeah. Like also during this time, Wolverine is on the Avengers. So he's on the Avengers, he's running a school, and he's doing this Black Ops shit.
Busy man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's insane. God, it's such a great run though.
Yeah. The Blob. Oh my God. The fucking Blob is the worst.
Yeah.
Redneck Blob?
Yeah.
He gets his though.
I love the way he gets
killed. Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah. Fucking Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler teleports a shark inside of his stomach. And the shark eats him from the inside out.
Yeah. That's
fucking nuts.
What a badass move, Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
But the Blob was a powerhouse in this comic book.
Yeah.
He was constantly fucking shit up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was gross looking.
The Brotherhood was badass. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the squad. So Dakin thought he was the leader, but you find out everyone's like.
By the way, he's Wolverine's son. If you don't know who Dakin is.
Yeah, Dakin is kind of a lame character.
I agree.
But he's Wolverine's son. He's little bitch boy. He's being led by. He's like being anytime you get a band of supervillains to team up, they all have ulterior motives and are doing this for their own ends.
Yeah,
you know,
he just wants to kill Wolverine, his father.
Yeah. And not only kill, but like torture him, kill his friends in front of him. He wants to make him feel like a failure. You know what I mean?
Well, what we find out later on, so when they go to the future, it's not Old Man Logan, but it is an old Logan. He whispers something in current day Wolverine's ear. We don't know what it is, but we later on find out it is like he basically tells him that he has to kill Dakin. Like he heavily implies
to kill your son.
He doesn't say that straight up. He's like, Dakin will go to the school and kill all the kids if you don't do something.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, that's what he has to do.
Yeah.
And he does it. Like, that's the
the way he does it is also.
That was, oh man, that moment of the comic is really what sticks to me after everything. It's like that.
It's brutal.
Wolverine has to kill his own son. Like, this starts with them having to
not
kill
only
a kid.
kill his own son, but drown him in a puddle.
Drown him in a puddle. Like, it's so.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh man. And Daken does come back, by the way. And Rick Remender is the one to bring him back.
Yeah, because we see him in Krakoa.
And he comes back in Krakoa, as a good guy, actually. He, like, becomes... Yeah. And actually now, Daken is Helverine. He's Wolverine, basically, with Ghost Rider powers.
What?
Oh.
Daken's had a wild ride.
That's crazy.
I want to see a movie, Daken's Wild Ride.
Wild Ride. But honestly, like, the moments, like, where he's talking to Wolverine and he's, like, saying, like, you know, if you raised me, you know, I wouldn't have been, like, beaten by them every day and all that stuff. And that, I you know... That's when I'm like, damn, Daken. Like, before that, I really hated him, and he is a piece of shit. But his
damn Daken.
But his conversation with Wolverine was really like, it was real, you know. Like, he wasn't lying about any of that, and like Wolverine was thinking about this shit as he was drowning. Remember that? Like, he's like, I don't know. That Rick Remender is so. He
has like
great.
Visions of what could have been.
Yeah.
Like, having a family, growing old with who is Daken's mother again? It's like the Japanese woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember who exactly, but there's this whole series where we learn about Wolverine, like his past more, and it's a more recent series, and like we find out about Daken, and then we find out Wolverine has a father named Romulus, who's like Mega Wolverine. I don't know. He was kind of weird. I don't know if I...
How canon is that, though?
I know,
I feel like he's
weird.
You know, that sounds a little
But Daken's really canon. No X-23 in this, though. That's a shame.
I do want to talk about some other. So you got Blob, who we mentioned. This is Age of Apocalypse, like redneck, hardcore
huge.
Blob.
He's also gigantic.
Yeah, gigantic. He just like will sit on people and say filthy things.
Yeah.
Pretty much his only move is like, you know, when you play as Bowser in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Down
B. Yeah.
That's like, that's his like only move.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's a beast for it, dude. I mean,
no, exactly.
And apparently
he also
Nightcrawler's wife.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
Fuck him, man.
He's also just drawn disgustingly. He always has like boils on him, and he's just like fat and sweaty. And it's gnarly.
You have Sabretooth, you have Mystique, you have Farouk,
I love Sabretooth's design. He looks cool.
Yeah. He feels like a very 90s-esque design.
Yeah. I also like they just when he's having sex with Mystique and he's just eating raw meat.
Oh, yeah. And feeding it to her. That was Wagyu.
Yeah.
This is kind of an edgelordy comic, but I like it for it.
Hey,
it is. Yeah.
It was that time in Marvel Comics for sure.
The edgelord time.
Time. But you have Farouk or what's his name?
King.
Shadow King, yeah.
He's awesome. He's a great villain.
Yeah. You have the Omega family.
Oh, they were fucked.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing them. That was crazy.
They're just for this. Yeah, that's their first.
Oh, they are?
Because they're not actually... Because remember when
they're not real. I know they're not real. Like, not even like their memories. Like, you killed our family.
Yeah, it's
like,
all
that never
implanted,
happened. You guys aren't even fucking. Yeah, it's all implanted.
Yeah.
But I like that they were like based off of like Omega Red's like DNA and shit.
Yeah, they were cool. Like they were Omega Black and Omega White and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I also like that during this time, like they reveal to you that Deadpool. I don't know why I don't know like the backstory with this, but he doesn't have his healing factor.
Yeah.
Like he loses it temporarily, at least during the second half of this run.
Yeah, something happens. I forget what happens.
So that, no, it doesn't happen in the story. Like it's just.
Oh, it doesn't?
It probably happens in his solo series or something like that. Because it just kind of, he suddenly looks like a normal person. You know what I mean?
He's got like blonde hair. He's not crippled.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I don't know why that is, but it's cool though. It's just a cool detail because everything he's doing, he could die, and that makes him a hero. You know.
You say that, but also he goes through so many things that would kill any normal person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. But still, no. It's the kind of thing where it's like Deadpool could be a really obnoxious character if he's written the wrong way and really annoying. Like, but Rick Remender got him so well.
He gets Deadpool for sure.
And not only that, but it changes him forever because I think he's after this. He has more of this. He's not just completely a jokester. Like he's always joking and doing stupid shit, but there's more of that human part of him, you know, like just even the fact that he checks on Kid Apocalypse, you know, like that he's like, hey, I'm going to make sure you're okay because, you know, and he even like, he's like calling himself like an Apocalypse. He's like, hey man, that's not who you even are, you know, like he's giving him advice, like, and not even making
what
jokes.
A cool thing. So the Brotherhood, okay, we also have, we have the Omega twins, and then I'm forgetting the Skinless Man, who's like a Fantomex. He's a part of the weapon villain, but it's Fantomex who's removed his skin, if according to the Otherworld run, because he talks about
wait. I just looked it up as to what you're right, Anthony. Deadpool losing his powers does happen outside of this. It begins, I guess it says Deadpool series that begins a secret invasion has a storyline where he discovers a serum and it takes away his healing factor and his powers.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think that's
it also cures Wade's cancer and he is no longer disfigured.
Yeah.
But it's not mentioned in this run.
Yeah. Gotcha. Huh. I got to check that one out.
It's crazy.
I might have that one actually. I just don't know if I ever read it. Interesting. But yeah, no, like Deadpool before this didn't give a shit. Now I like Deadpool.
DP.
Also, there's some Deadpool Wolverine moments in here where you could see like
a bond growing,
and not only that, but like what they should. Obviously, we're gonna get Deadpool Wolverine too. I doubt they wouldn't make a sequel. That movie made bananas money, but they should take more of this. If not even, you know, I wish they would take from Uncanny X-Force. Honestly, if they're gonna follow that path, I think it would work. Like expand the team a little bit and like do more dark ops shit. Like if the next Deadpool Wolverine, the mission is to kill Kid Apocalypse or something, that tracks, you know, that would be cool.
But I feel like now if we're going to go in the movies, I'd like to see it be like Deadpool be more incorporated instead of like it being a Deadpool movie and just throwing Wolverine in there. Cause like,
I see what you mean.
Like, I did like that movie, but I rewatched it and I was like, yeah, this movie has no plot.
Like, for sure.
It's like there's funny stuff and it's worth
funny,
watching,
silly,
but it's
cool
not.
Shit,
yeah, I do like that Deadpool isn't center stage.
Right. Like I think we even said this in the episode. I thought the other Deadpool movies were better Deadpool movies.
Yeah. I agree. They are better Deadpool movies.
Yeah.
So
for sure. So yeah, I think it's time. Like, just bring us the X-Men MCU.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We're ready to move on.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you guys think of them talking? Did you see where like Feige was like, we had no idea what we were doing post Endgame, and
we know Feige.
Yeah, obviously.
When did he say that?
In an interview at some point recently, I think.
The question is, why don't they know? Like, what anybody watching the movies could be like, all right, I have an idea of where this could go. Like, and did they not think of that? Like, we're making so much money, I guess we're gonna stop here. Like, they knew that wasn't gonna happen.
I don't even care anymore about Marvel. They're dead to me.
Yeah, I just want more Batman, DC.
Exactly. Supposedly we'll be getting a Superman trailer around like Super Bowl.
Ooh,
nice.
So pretty soon.
I'm definitely excited to see some Superman Legacy.
Yeah.
Have we reached the Nexus?
Have we?
Is this the next season?
I don't think we have to like finish the run because we're missing a lot. You know what I mean? Like the battles, the fights in this were bananas. Honestly, like some of the most gory, I feel like, due to all the healing factors, some of the goriest mainstream comics, I don't know, but it's healing factor again, Immortal Hulk.
There's a lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of blood. Brutality out the wazoo.
Yeah, I mean, they literally tear out Fantomex's heart and they peel his face off. Poor guy goes through the ringer.
Dude, when the Omega family makes Wolverine get like really fat because of like tumors or something, right? Does he like start bubbling up?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ends up having to cut his kidneys out or whatever, his liver.
To drain his blood.
So he can move, like run away.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
No, they go through some fucked up shit. You're like, damn.
Yeah, they get the X-Force goes through the ringer against the Brotherhood.
Dude, We're skipping over the fact that Psylocke and Fantomex have sex.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bang,
that
bang,
was.
bang.
She admits that she does like him, possibly even love him.
But then she says like some of the coldest shit you done ever heard.
And she's like, psych.
Yeah,
yeah, but they do like end up together at the end.
Yeah, but she says a line too where she's like, misdirection isn't only a mutant power, and you're like,
yeah, that's so fucked up.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
Psylocke was on her fuckboy shit.
In her hot girl era.
Yeah,
Hot
for
girl.
sure.
she. I thought there were multiple moments where she was like, I'm shutting down your pain receptors.
Yeah, that was
when
cool.
people were getting fucked up. Like that's the only way they
Yeah.
survive. Like it happened to Fantomex when he was getting skinned.
Deadpool, she does it too.
Yep. No, Psylocke is definitely the badass hero. Like even where we go to the future, she's running shit.
Yeah,
And she tries to kill herself to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put her in some kind of like healing chamber
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. Oh my god, it's crazy.
Yep.
This is like
I
crazy.
mean, Uncanny X-Force, like the first, like I guess the whole story is like Wolverine's a big character, but it's really Psylocke's story. Like, you know, from the beginning, like she's dealing with Angel and Angel goes crazy and like she, you know, in Otherworld, that's her story.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to the end, she's saving everyone's ass most of the time. Like, you know, how Phoenix might save everybody. Like you always have to count on the psychic basically, but she goes through the ringer, I think, the most. She has to kill her brother. She has the man she loves is wiped out.
Murdered.
He doesn't exist anymore. He's alive, but like he's basically
yeah.
murdered. You know, like
well,
he's not
she
there
had
anymore.
to murder him.
And she has to be the one to do it. Exactly. Wolverine kills his son, his own son. It's so fucked up, the whole comic. But like,
yeah, it's brutal.
yeah,
Dude, the torture that they put poor Kid Apocalypse through is
Yeah.
insane. They like unraveled, proved to him that his upbringing was fake, that he's just a clone, and
yeah.
you know,
He's
all
not
of
really
this.
Clark Kent, which is
Yeah.
basically
I also
his
like
life.
that it's like never really implied exactly what his powers are. Like, does
He's
he just
got
have
Apocalypse.
every power?
Yeah, he's got.
No, I know. I'm saying, but like, what are Apocalypse's powers? Is it like every power? He can just do anything?
I think he could like manipulate matter and like shoot out energy, and then the
Yeah.
suit he wears makes him like do crazier shit.
Yeah, he can also expand. Yeah, expand himself.
Kind of like Miss Marvel could do, you know? Like there's even a part where he has giant hands.
Yo, yeah, that part where he's fighting Sabretooth and Doc in the field.
Dude, he
Yeah.
fucks them up too.
Yeah.
And he does Miss Marvel shit.
But then they end up just torturing him and breaking the kid down.
Yeah.
I love when Wade's like, have they broke him? I don't know. What if he's rocking back and forth like in the Omen or whatever?
Yeah, he had some good lines. I also like in the end when I forgot what he does. He like turns off his computer or something and he leaves him a stack of porn instead.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, he
His
steals
play
the
guy.
He
meditation book.
steers the meditation book. He's like, here, you'll have more fun with this.
Yeah.
Leaves a bunch of Playboy magazines.
I also like, I mean, the whole story is everything is about revenge. Nightcrawler's getting revenge. Everyone's getting revenge for something. And that's what basically is convincing, like, and Deadpool is pointing out, convincing Evan to not become Apocalypse, not listen to the Brotherhood. Like, revenge is getting everyone killed. It's just fucking everything up. And it's just like, I don't know. The story is like, what do I want to say about it ultimately? Like, it's like a regular comic, a regular X-Men comic could be pretty dramatic and, you know, have a lot of moments where you're like, holy shit, that maybe you don't get in a normal comic. But this comic is just like making you think about like the morality of every single one of their choices is just insane. You know, like, and you're seeing like Cody's saying, like heroes having the no kill rule. It makes sense because when they really don't have that, like
They end up having to kill their own children.
yeah, it's just but it really starts from that. That's what I'm saying about this whole story. It starts from Fantomex killing Kid Apocalypse. Like the Evan we see, the Kid Apocalypse we see is a clone that he made.
And
So
this
they still
run
did that.
is an immediate follow-up to the fallout of Second Coming, right? Where they all almost get killed. Is it by Bastion?
Or Mr. Sinister's involved with that. Maybe it's Bastion too. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, Second Coming. Sorry. And then Nightcrawler dies. So they keep talking about that. Professor X dies too before that.
Yeah.
Or during that event. I don't remember. We should do Second Coming. That's another big X-Men one.
It's one of my faves.
Yeah.
I cried when I read it.
Second Coming is really good.
Yeah.
Tell us, what other X-Men book should we talk about? Because I love X-Men.
We got to do more Krakoa stuff.
There's a lot I haven't read. Like, I've never actually read Age of Apocalypse.
Me either. Well, Age of Apocalypse is a lot of comics. That's why we've never read it.
Yeah.
Is there an omnibus of it?
There is, but hard to find.
Yeah, and I think the Age of Apocalypse omnibus it's like just like they do so many offshoots and stuff like that. Kind of like they did in this, but even like to a oomph degree, you know?
Like it's not necessarily a praised comic. Like some people will say it's good, but
there was that Age of Apocalypse short where they're fleeing where Apocalypse ends up killing the last city of humanity.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
I did like that one shot. And then they make a Wanda clone who no more mutants them, but it backfires. Yeah. Wolverine is the Apocalypse of that world, and so he just
he ascends.
That's what they say.
Which of us do you think would be the most likely to ascend?
To ascend to Apocalypse?
To Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Me.
So it's not Walakalypse?
It's not the Age of Walakalypse?
It's not the Age of Walakalypse, no.
No. Or are you? Or like, is it the kind of thing like when Walakalypse falls, you ascend?
Oh,
yeah. Kind of like how like Archangel was it, but it just had like a big A on him.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so who are we in this comic? I think we should give ourselves both on the X-Force side and on the Brotherhood side.
Jake said he knew who he was.
Who?
He didn't tell us. He said, I know who I am.
Oh, I thought on the hero side, Fantomex.
Jake is Fantomex. Okay.
I'd give you Fantomex. I think, honestly,
3 brains.
You know who I'm giving Anthony?
Who?
Kid Apocalypse.
Okay, I was expecting that.
I could see that.
I just think he's got all the power to end the world, but he has to,
I keep it at bay.
Yeah.
Also, Jamie, Psylocke's brother, gets possessed by Satan, basically, the goat guy.
That's true. The goat man.
On the villain side, maybe Anthony's Jamie.
Yeah, I'll take that one. And that's why the world ends, because he gets possessed by the devil and like he uses his powers to take over all reality.
The Walakalypse lore. On the villain side, Jake, I think I was gonna give you Skinless Man.
The Skinless Man. George Washington.
We did cast you as George Washington in Philadelphia, though.
Oh, that's true.
So
you didn't, you said?
No, he did. Remember? You're George Washington, Cody's Thomas Jefferson. I'm
That's
John
true.
Adams.
Oh, so that carries over. George Washington again. One more strike. There'll be no convincing me you're not actually George Washington.
It's all connecting.
Who would Cody be?
On the heroes and the villains.
On the heroes and the villains. I'm always tempted to give Cody Wolverine for some reason.
I don't see Wolverine when I see Cody. I'd give him Deadpool.
I don't think I'm angry enough to be Wolverine.
Deadpool. Okay, yeah, Deadpool. I'll give Cody Deadpool.
Nice.
He's
But
got a
Anthony, I was
character
also
arc.
going to give you Nightcrawler. You could be Dark Nightcrawler.
Cody is Dark Nightcrawler.
No, you.
Oh, me. Okay, yeah, I'll take that one too. I'll always take Nightcrawler.
Nice. Yeah, Nightcrawler.
And I love Dark Nightcrawler because his whole thing is like he's the devil. Like someone even says he's the devil because, you know, Kurt is always just so like, a pious Christian X-Man mutant, but this dude's like, I'll murder you.
You have Altar Boy vibes, so you do have that Nightcrawler energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cody on the villain side, maybe Sabretooth.
I was about to say Sabretooth.
I accept that.
Yeah.
Cody be eating meat in bed.
You ain't never told a lie.
Oh, I meant to say beating meat. Sorry.
Yeah.
You said who?
I said I meant to say beating meat, not eating meat.
Oh. Hey, why not both, baby?
Oh shit! How many Pesci's? This is the real. I think this is what we should do.
Okay.
We should give this second half a Pesci score, and then the overall omnibus.
Yes.
The Pesci score.
I agree.
Okay, second half. I'm gonna give a 5.6.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
Like, I love it still. The Otherworld's part does knock off points.
Yeah.
Like, the Otherworld's part itself, I would probably give like a 4.3.
No, I would the Otherworld part itself, I'd give it less.
I'd probably give the Otherworld part like
for me. It's going into Wonder Woman 1984 levels.
Wow.
Yeah. If I was only critiquing the Otherworld part.
See, I think this time though, I think this time reading through this run, because this is like the first time ever in omnibusy form, but a third time I think ever reading this run. But this time, I think I really like appreciated the layers it added to
Psylocke.
Elizabeth, to Psylocke. I think I really I focused so much on that, like that I didn't even. I kind of like glazed over the fantastical parts, and I also did really enjoy.
You glazed over this book?
Oh yeah, baby! This book keeps me glazing. Psylocke's a baddie.
To glaze.
I think that was one of the dumber things we've aired for.
Hey, there's no limit
to how dumb we can get.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't hate it nearly as much this time. I kind of liked it a lot more just because of like how much more it adds to the Psylocke. But it is also definitely the weakest. But I liked it enough that I'd give it like a 4.5. But overall, the Evil Brotherhood part is such a good part, and it wraps the story up so well that I'll give the second half a 5.6.
Okay. 5.6. That's fair. I like that. 5.6. I'll do 5.5. It's going to get a whole 0.5 tangerine-sized Pesci's.
No. I'm taking off a whole Pesci for the second half. Nice. I'm sorry. First off, second half in general, while, like some art is better than others, it's just not as good as Opeña's first half at all. Like, it's just not. And then the art in the fucking Otherworld fucking part, I really hate. And also, that Otherworld part, that just like, I don't know how many 3-4 issues it was. It was too much.
It was longer than that.
Yeah, see,
it was one whole volume. It was like 5 or 6 issues.
It was a whole volume.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm giving second half a 4.8.
Oh damn!
All right, that's fair.
I will give the overall omnibusy. I gotta be honest. I don't know if I can give it a 6.
Ooh. For me, it's easy money 6. Like
for me, it's not because if I'm being honest, like I like Immortal Hulk better than this.
I don't
really.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anthony, what about you?
That's hard to say. Like better than this.
I would rather read. I like this. I'm glad I own it. But I think Immortal Hulk is better.
This isn't a real answer, but I want to say that like a lot of comic runs, and this isn't a long comic run. Still 35. It's kind of long for a comic run.
Pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's only 2 volumes less than Immortal Hulk.
Right.
I think.
Immortal Hulk was 50 issues. But I guess what I want to say is that even with Immortal Hulk, there were moments where we were like, this isn't the best.
Yeah, but even the weren't nearly as
as
me
Otherworld. Gotcha. I guess
not just the second half in general. I think it's weaker than the first half.
Oh, I loved the Brotherhood.
Yeah, I did like the last
but the Brotherhood's not enough for me.
And I like the way they wrapped it up.
It doesn't redeem it enough for me.
I mean, that's totally fair enough. But for me, like, I totally agree with the Otherworld parts. But like I said, even this was like my second or third reread as well. And I don't know, like it didn't bother me as much. I definitely enjoyed it more, but it was definitely the moment in the omnibus where I was like reading faster. I'm like, I just want to get past this part anyway. But I think if it had better art or art I liked more, I wouldn't feel so much that way. It was really the art that bugged me the most about it, I guess, this time around. So I don't want to take away too many points for that. Like I said, 5.5, but overall, it gets a 6. Like it doesn't take away the 6 for me.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it a 6. I can't go there.
No, that's fair.
Whoa.
I think that's fair. But like for me, it's like it's an X-Men book that needs to be on your shelf. Like, and it was so long that it was hard to buy. So I'm glad we were all able to buy it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I own it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a read and a purchase. And yeah, maybe one arc in it doesn't live up to the 6 out of 6 Pesci's that we that the rest of the comic lives up to, I think. But I don't know. Like I guess what I was trying to say before is that I think every run, I don't know if there's ever been a run that's entirely perfect for me where I was like, oh my God, that's over like, let's say 20 issues. I think that's hard to do.
Oh yeah. That's an insane feat to accomplish. I think like, even though there's low points in it, I think some of the higher ones of things that I've read, and I didn't even finish the run, so I can't speak on the whole run, but Ruby Baby's Cap.
Yeah, there's some issues that there's an arcs that I'm just like, well, I don't like it as much as like Winter Soldier level, obviously, you know. But it's the kind of thing where it's also like a low Brubaker or a low Remender comic is like still great.
Still better than the average comic.
Exactly. It's like how we used to say like a bad episode of Game of Thrones back in the day was like better than,
still
the worst, the best episode of other shows. But yeah,
I'm giving the whole Omnibus-y a 5.5.
Damn.
Fair.
But it does not achieve that 6 for me.
Whoa.
Hey, I think it's still a good score, and I think it
still
doesn't
good.
mean the
5.5
comic is
perfectly good. Yeah.
No,
I'd still recommend it. I'd recommend it to people who have a background in X-Men lore, though. You can't just drop somebody in this.
No,
and
for sure.
Agreed.
Like, what? Because they'll just be like, what's going on?
yeah,
For sure.
it's not a pick up and read X-Men comic.
And if you have a deep background in X-Men lore, then this comic really rewards you.
For sure. Yeah. Agreed.
Right.
And now I want to read more. Like, it's definitely the kind of comic where it's like, I want to read Age of Apocalypse, like you were saying, Jake. Like
Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah. I don't,
Oh, God.
Where cops just take over.
You mean our Earth?
Oh, shit. That's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still recommend it, but it doesn't get the 6, but I give it a 5.5.
I do think, I mean, hey, you do what you want to do. I do think.
Cody, you're the only person where if someone gives a rating that you disagree with, you like really can't get beyond it.
your mood is done.
Yeah, like you're like, I just think that.
Hey, no,
what bullshit do you have to say?
I just think like talking about. I think it's easier for us to give higher scores to single or 2 volume, like short runs, than it is to a like I think omnibus. Like it's like comparing an entire TV series. You know what I mean? They're just different things.
That's fair. I get that.
Yeah.
Like, even The Sopranos has low points. I mean,
Yeah.
especially if you count Many Saints.
Oh, we can.
But you know what I mean? Like we gave Mortal Kombat the movie a 6.
That has no low points.
No low points whatsoever. It's the perfect film.
And it's getting a sequel.
I can't wait till it gets added to the Criterion collection.
I think it was the first movie that was immediately, like, automatically, like when you went to the theaters, it actually said Criterion Collection. Also, it's almost sounding like we're like ending this on a low note. Like, yeah, we didn't give it 666, but I think it was great,
Cody's
and we
just
all
bummed
liked
that
it.
I didn't give it a 6.
I am. I wanted to talk to the devil.
Look,
I had some questions for him.
each comic has to go through a series of rigorous tests to answer that one question. Is it a banger? This second half didn't quite achieve that for me.
But what if?
I don't live in these
No, you
hypothetical
listen.
what if worlds.
Listen. No, but
live in the
here's
real
what I
world.
think is going to happen now.
Okay, what?
Now, I think what's going to happen is this is going to set me on a course of needing like long-term revenge against you.
I hear what you're saying. We need to go back in time.
What you would need to do is get a different artist and just get rid of that whole Otherworld story, and I definitely give it a 6.
I mean, the more I think about it, but like you really can't take it out or even skip it because it is important to Psylocke's story.
You can't. Unfortunately, I wish you could.
Yeah, like stuff happens with Fantomex, but I guess they could have done that in a different way. It's just like
I almost want to, Uzumaki when she tries to bore her head from the spiral. That's what I want to do. I want to get rid of that memory of reading the Otherworld part. And take a drill to my brain.
Otherworld hurt Jake.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'll be honest. Like, not just Otherworld. I really like, for me. And I even texted you this while reading it. I was like, yo, why does the second half, like, the art change? And you're like, oh, it's because Opeña doesn't draw it anymore. And, like, overall, I was just kind of disappointed with that. I was like, man, I really wish, like, he kept doing the whole omnibus. Which I know is not, like, whatever. But that's why I was like, The second half in general, to me, I didn't enjoy as much as the first half. I think the first half is better. The whole Archangel saga is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I will totally say that the second half isn't as good, but I do love the way it wraps up. I do think the way Remender uses, I mean, I feel like how we talk about, like, Archangel Saga was big. It was literally for the sake of the world. There were entire towns being decimated. Yeah. I do like that Rick Remender, first he follows it up by, like, the little in-between is, like, absolutely bonkers. Like fantasy, but then it goes to like more street level, more personal vendetta-esque. It has a lot more character driven rather than this big, like, I think it's the proper follow-up that we were talking about how like Marvel didn't know what they were doing post Endgame, but we always talked about how we wanted it to get like a little more personal and not as like spectacle-y. I think this is like, if you're especially if you're not, Otherworld's there and it needs to be there, but the Brotherhood part, it's like a much more focused, more personal.
But I kind of disagree because I feel like it is every arc is spectacle and personal at the same time. Like, the Brotherhood arc is making sure that Evan doesn't become Apocalypse, and the fate of the world in the future. Like, Deathlok is back, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's happening in the future anymore. Like, everything's too fucked up now. And that's big stakes. And Otherworld is big stakes, too, because if that goat dude takes over, he takes over the Omniverse, and everything is fucked. But it's a super personal story because Betsy has to kill her own brother. Yeah. And then that's just all of Uncanny X-Force. That's why I think like Rick Remender is one of the best comic book writers, because he does this with pretty much every single one of his stories, where no matter what's happening, he gets the character part down and you care about the characters. Like, even he makes you care about Deadpool. He makes you care about whatever original characters he came up with.
I mean, this is the most, but if I'm being honest, like, not trying to sound awful, but before this run for me, Psylocke was like a hot comic book lady that I liked because she was an X-Man. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have the connection that I do after this run.
I've always felt connected to Psylocke because I'm progressive. So,
but Psylocke kind of in her nature isn't that progressive.
Like they don't even touch on that fact. Really.
She's biracial. Are you kidding me?
There's a whole like backstory where she's like, this isn't her original body. She basically just like lives in a Japanese woman.
Yeah.
So she suffers from body dysmorphia? That's more progressive. You guys, you're only proving my point.
It's kind of crazy though, because they don't change that till Krakoa.
Yeah.
Like now Psylocke is Psylocke and Betsy is Captain Britain. Like she's her own person.
Yeah.
Captain Britain blows on every level. No matter what gender it is.
If I'm being honest, Captain Britain is one of those characters that you ain't ever going to make me like Captain Britain.
I kind of agree with that. I'm like, I don't give a flying
I think both comic labels have those characters that are like a part of the team or a part of the lore that I'm just
who on DC do you also feel that way about?
I mean, I'm sure there's some somebody. Like there are definitely people I care about a lot less. Like honestly, like you're gonna hate this. I really am not like, unless he's part of the ensemble of like Justice League or something. It's hard for me to. I don't have a lot of love for Green Lantern. And I don't have a lot of love. I don't have a lot of love for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but that's fine. Fantastic Four sucks.
I also don't have a lot of love for Moon Knight.
Yeah, Moon Knight sucks.
Yeah. There are characters.
None of those people suck. You guys just haven't read the right comics.
We read the right comics. For those comics,
Moon
I
Knight?
enjoy them.
We read some great Moon Knight.
That's true. Yeah, I did love that, Jeff.
Come on.
Yeah,
Fantastic Four. We haven't even done a Fantastic Four.
Well,
we need to do We need to either do. Tell you what, we need to either do the OG movies with Chris Evans before he was Cap.
I'm down.
We should do those regardless. Actually,
at some point for sure.
And we should do because I don't think I've honestly ever actually read a single Fantastic Four. comic.
Alex Ross has a good one we could do that came out recently.
Full Circle.
Oh, you're right. I did read that one. Okay,
Full Circle. Yeah, I've read a few like volumes of stuff, but I've not like delved deep. They're just like some characters that like don't capture my heart the way others do.
Yeah, Captain Britain. haven't read much with him. This is part of it. Alan Moore has written some Captain Britain, which I haven't read, but that would make me want to check it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
and then
cool.
In Jonathan Hickman's Avengers run, he brings in the Captain Britain Corps, and that's actually the first time I had read them. I think it's cool how they deal with like the multiverse before the multiverse is a thing. You know, it's like they talk about it, but it's not like a big deal. Kind of. Yeah. It's just like we are the like there's a Captain Britain. They're almost like the Green Lantern Corps, but
I know that's what I hate. Is like it's so stupid to me.
I think there's a way that it could be cool. Like I just haven't read the right comic, is what I'm saying. There's ideas in there that are like, okay, I like it in other comics. You get what I'm saying? But I have no defense for them. But Fantastic Four, I'll say Jonathan Hickman has a great Fantastic Four that we should try to talk about. At least one arc in there somewhere. It's too many issues. Or even if you guys just read on your own, I'm just saying it might change your mind about them. But
I mean, they're like cool in theory, and I get it, but it just doesn't touch my heartstrings. They never resonated with me as much as some other characters.
Well, you know what touches my heartstrings? When someone gives us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcast.
Oh. Nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what touches my dick strings is if someone subscribes to our Patreon.
Ooh. Don't you want to make this guy happy?
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jacob H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's Comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.